Hey guys, Rochelle here with Amethyst Ascension. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are returning, thank you so much for joining me again. So today I'm going to be doing a hashtag, and it is called 13 Tarot Tube Questions. And so I watched most of it. I haven't finished it yet, so I still have to finish watching it before I comment on it. But I did watch part of Will's and Anna's live that they did. And I thought that these were really great questions. So while we watched Sully walk around, and because I just honestly did not feel like doing anything with myself today, I'm like in downtime, but I really wanted to do this because I thought that there were really great questions. I figured I'm going to give you something nice to look at while I do this. And for all of those people that do not like being in front of the camera, it's okay. You don't have to be in front of the camera to do VRs, right? So, anywho. So the questions are, and I will be putting a link down below to the original live video that Will and Anna did on this. And so this is a VR2 Atypical Tarot. So the first question is, and there's 13, what are your favorite videos to watch? And this is like a tarot tube hashtag. So as far as outside of tarot tube, I love like the Fifth Kind, Paul Willis or Paul Wallace. I love he talks about, like, you know, the Anunnaki. He was a preacher in his, or a priest, I can't remember, in his past. And he started asking questions that the Bible just couldn't answer, that had to do with translations, Elohim, and, you know, like there being several gods instead of one. Anyways, he ended up leaving the church. I love his channel. The Fifth Kind, he's got two of them, the Fifth Kind and Paul Wallace, I think. Anywho, I love his channel. I love watching Robert Seffer. He's always got, and he's got two channels also, Atlantean Gardens. I love watching both of those. Those are also, he's an anthropologist, so he does videos on Oliver, what are you getting into? He does videos on, oh my gosh, anything and everything. Like mummies and like chi power, and oh my, I mean, there's just so much stuff. It's amazing. He's written several books. I have a couple of them started, but I haven't finished them. But anyways, I love his, which is Robert Seffer or Atlantean Gardens. Those are his two channels. I also love Esoterica, Dr. Sledge. He is a professor of philosophy, I think, or religions. I'm not exactly sure what he is a professor of, but he always does excellent informational videos also, like on anything and everything that you can think of, like the Kabbalah and the Zohar, and love him. I love his channel. Justin Sledge, Dr. Justin Sledge. But his channel name is called Esoterica. I love watching crafting channels, whether that be with like the Cricut, whether that be making like witches, like incenses and candles, and making actual items, kind of like what I've made, like my divination table over there, or when I'm like witchy tools, making like witchy tools, and working with wood and wood burners, and making like runes, and I just love all that kind of stuff. As far as tarot tube, I love something that is going to expand me. I'm like, honestly, a lot of the stuff that I started off with on tarot tube, like the sorry if you can hear the boys with the toys, but the stuff that I started off with, which was like knowledge and beginner stuff, I'm just like, not really. I just, that doesn't interest me too much. I do love watching walkthroughs. A really good, either sometimes I'm in the mood for just a walkthrough of something where I just want to see the pictures, but if I'm going to watch a walkthrough, the ones that are the best quality are the ones that I watch because I'm looking for the art to see whether or not I would connect with the art. But there's other ones that I like watching, which are actual videos where they do reviews, like really good reviews on the book and how they use it and the spreads that are in it, including the artwork and stuff like that. And people that I can think of that always do that is like Dawn Michelle and um, uh, formerly Supportive Tarot, Lisa Pepez. Love her channel. Love both of their channels. But I love something that is going to expand me, help me understand a little bit better other people's perspectives. The basic, meanings and doing lessons and stuff like that. And basic tarot talk or long lives that don't really interact with the people. Not so much. Because my time is valuable. And because I support a lot of people, it just, my time is valuable. Let's just put it that way. So, but that's all stuff that I love. I love watching mods when people mod their decks, and I like seeing the results of it. I mean, not actually watching the whole thing, but like parts of it and how it looks at the end because I like to modify my stuff. But I also feel like that's kind of like the creative corner kind of thing. That kind of stuff. Oh, I love watching journals. When people show their journals, I love it. And I do journaling. I'm a big journaler now, all digital. However, I don't share it too much because I've had a lot of personal things going on and it's not for the public. So I feel funny just showing bits and pieces of my journaling, but I do journaling like all the time. It is like, yeah, I love it. And that's another reason I love the membership with Boho Tarot, because she does just the best monthly medicine. It has helped me tremendously. I can't say enough how having Dawn Michelle in my life, not only is she a friend, but she is just a wonderful content creator. And yeah, anywho, she's helped me tremendously with just the monthly practice. So, what are my favorite videos to film? Well, stuff like this. I like doing prompts. I love having deep questions that I don't ever even think about because I know that there's like this imposter syndrome. I think sometimes where I ask myself if it's personal stuff, how much do people really want to know? Would it be just boring? Then they click off and then it would hurt my feelings. So I just don't bother. And I see these other people that do just the most beautiful videos, like Candy. Candy does, she's so expressive. She's a beautiful artist and she's just so deep and emotional. And I'm just not, it's hard for me to put all my emotions out there. I'm more of I think an analytical speaker versus, although I feel the emotions, it's just really hard for me to put those out for other people. I feel them very much, but maybe that's why it's hard. I don't know. But anywho, videos I like to film are stuff like this, VRs that have good prompts, good questions. Things that I'm really, really loving is obviously astrology. I want to do that, but every time I do, there's such a backlash because of me following, true sidereal astrology because people just get offended by it. And I do come off strong. I know I do, but it's just really hard for me to, I guess, accept or understand why somebody wouldn't want to use, when they're using astrology, why they wouldn't want to use what's actually in the sky. But that's a whole other that's a whole other topic. And I'm not trying to offend anybody. I truly am not. It's just me being a truth seeker and a conspiracy theorist and, That's always like in my mind, like, I just don't understand, you know. But to each their own. And I know that everybody has their reasons for why they choose things. Um, but I love doing that. I love showing, like, like creating stuff. Like when I just watched it today, the video when I made my table. I love it so much. I can't even tell you. It has brought me so much joy. And just making it and working with wood. And when I made my runes, when I made my um, different, I love working with wood and burning the burning tool, and I like working with my Cricut, and um, sometimes sewing. I can do it, but I don't really like sewing too much. But so I like making creative videos when I'm feeling creative, but definitely decorating and creating scenes. That's probably why I love movies so much, because I love the aesthetics, seeing the aesthetics, and it really sparks my creativity and inspiration. And the place that we like to spend our money is people. We don't go out, we don't go drinking. My husband and I don't hardly drink. I don't smoke. I don't do many things that a lot of other people do. But because we are homebodies, so we don't even hardly go to the movies. We watch stuff at home, you know. This is our sanctuary. Our home is our sanctuary. So we spend money on our sanctuary. And it hasn't always been like that, but we are in the place where we have the ability to do that. So that is what I love so much. And I love like furniture placement and utilization. I like beauty, but I also like utilization and organization. So anyways, I love making all that kind of stuff. And walkthroughs, because you know what? Even when I'm making a new walkthrough, I see something in that video that I maybe didn't see when I was working with it to begin with, and it re-inspires me. So sometimes I go back and watch some of my own walkthrough videos. So yeah. Unboxings, I like doing that because that's like Christmas when I get my Witch's Roots box. You know, every single time. I used to watch them because I'm such an impatient person. I used to watch other people's. Um, because as a person that gets the boxes from the company, it's always sent out to me later. So I'm like one of the last people to get it. So it's already been spread all over YouTube or the internet by the time I get the box. So I have every opportunity to watch it, and I used to because I wanted to support, but I really like being surprised and opening up that box and going, oh my gosh, you know? So I love doing that as well. Um, let's see. What are your least favorite videos to watch? My least favorite videos to watch is probably like beginner stuff, really long, and I know this is going to sound funny. Well, I definitely don't like watching like readings. I know that's terrible because I'm a tarot reader, but I don't, it's just like boring. Even, and I've heard other people talk about this, but when I do a reading for somebody, I don't record it down anywhere. I don't remember half of the time what they are because I don't feel like those readings were for me. So even my own, unless I put it into my journal, I forget those too. You know, probably because I also do a lot of tarot, but unless I'm writing it down, I forget it. Same with my dream journal. If I don't write them down, I forget them. And then I miss out on a whole lot of stuff that I forgot about, and then it comes true, you know? So, my least favorite is definitely watching beginner stuff. It's boring, but watching readings, when people do live readings and stuff, 9 times out of 10, I don't seek guidance from other readers. If I do, it's not going to be on an online format. I would rather it be one-on-one with somebody that I know is a phenomenal reader. And I do feel like I have high standards when it comes to who I allow to read for me, because I do believe that that's real. And I take it seriously and I hold on to it. So I only allow certain people to read for me, period. And namely, because I'm doing so much reading for myself, I don't really normally need other people to read for me. So, yeah, it's the live readings, the tarot readings, and some of them that you watch when they're so loaded with, like, is he cheating on you? Or are they talking behind your back? That shit just kind of pisses me off, to be honest with you. It's just dividing people. It's just making the worst come out in people. And people just love that. Anywho, that kind of, I don't like that. I don't like beginner tarot stuff. It's boring. And I don't like lives that are so busy, depending on the topic, because there are some, like, I love the lives that um, Lisa and Peggy do. God, they're so good. And the relationship dynamics between those two is just hilarious. I mean, I just love those two. I do. And the way that they go back and forth, it reminds me of me and my husband, how we can go back and forth, you know. Although they do it more funny, where, anyways. So I love watching that, but most lives that are like super, super busy where you kind of get lost and you can't keep up because it's just going so quickly. I don't feel like so I like the lives that are smaller, more intimate, where you can actually have interaction most of the time. There are ones, let me just say, when it comes to Lisa and Peggy, they keep up on the chat and they have a lot of people usually in their lives. It's very impressive. And I always feel like I am included. So that makes a difference in what lives I attend. But most generally, I don't like them when they're super busy. I'll go back and watch them later. And not just, also another reason is because I'm interrupted all the time. You know, if it's not somebody saying, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? Do the dogs need to go out? And I miss out on so much during the live. So I like to go back and just watch them, not worry about interaction, you know, and just watch them like an actual video. So let's see. What is your favorite part of the tarot community? The people. Oh my goodness gracious, it's the people. It's the only thing that keeps me coming back, honestly, because I have thought about leaving several times. It's always because it is a job. In order to put out videos all the time and it be actually halfway decent or aesthetically pleasing to my standards, not to other people's, but to my standards, it takes work and it's time consuming. And I feel like for instance, when I do a hashtag, I try to go back when I can within reason for a few weeks or so and watch everybody else's as well and support them. That's what I feel like a hashtag is supposed to be for. But there's a lot of people that you don't see that do that. And that's okay. It's whatever people have time for, but I try to. So I like doing the hashtags and joining in and learning more about other people. I like the feeling of togetherness and having like-minded individuals that I have met online that I have never met in person, but it doesn't matter. I feel like sometimes those kind of relationships are more intense, especially the ones that leave, you know, YouTube and actually go into real life, you know, communication all the time. Like some of my really, really good friends. We are FaceTiming all the time with each other. And that is the difference between, I feel like, an acquaintance or somebody that is a friend, but it's more of a casual friend versus somebody that is a very deep, close, personal friend that you have talked to about other things off of just making videos and, you know, corresponding through videos. There's many that I would like to take it beyond that, but you also don't want to you don't want to go overboard. You know, I don't want to like appear like a stalker. So I never ever make first contact. But anyways, and some of my friends could tell you that. I very seldom ever contact them first. I always wait for them to contact me, and then we talk for hours because I don't want to intrude. And I know that's a me thing, but anyways. What is your, let's see, what is your least favorite part of the tarot community? My least favorite part of the tarot community would be how, like I just did the video yesterday or the day before on artificial intelligence, right? And I would say the vast majority of people are just kind, and they will tell you their opinion, and you can have an opinion that's completely opposing but still be kind about it. You know what I mean? And open up a discussion about it. But then you have other people that come in and start shaming other people. And I guess it's like the polarity. Oops, sorry. I guess it's the polarity part that you would think that we're adults. You would think that we are, mindful people that can have differences of opinion without it being considered arguing, without it being considered like the most horrible thing, and I'm going to shame you because your opinion is not like what mine is, and or even just having a discussion. It's so polarized. It goes from one extreme to the other, and people start calling names, and really, that's the part I don't like. That is just like high school mentality. To me, that's high school mentality, or just coming from a place of major anger that you can't sit down and have a polite conversation with somebody of a differing opinion so that you can learn from each other. So that's my least favorite part of the tarot community, is the drama that leads to major polarization and splits in the community. It's sad to me. And that's not just the tarot community. I see it in every walk of life. I just wish it didn't have to be like that. I wish we could just talk about things and find more middle ground instead of such polarity going forward. That's how we grow, I feel. 6, what motivated you to start your channel? Well, I've talked about this before. What motivated me actually was a box that I had gotten, Mindful Souls. It was the first, no, it wasn't, was it the first? Yeah. Yeah, I think it was the first subscription box I had ever gotten. And I think I seen it probably an advertisement on Facebook or something. This was several years ago. And so it said, if you make it in the information, it said, like the little information card that came with the subscription box, if you make a video and send it to us, we will give you another box for free. So I wanted another box for free. I thought it was a really cool box, but I'm cheap, I'll take something for free, right? So I was like, how do I do this? Because I had made a video and it was way too big to just send it in email. It wouldn't. And I'm like, I still struggle with trying to transfer stuff. I'm not good when it comes to technology, okay? I'm surprised that I have gotten this far with my damn channel because I'm not good technology-wise. So a lot of the stuff that people use, technologically, I don't. I'm like old school. I use my computer. I make videos on my phone, but then I upload it to my computer and, do it that way. But anyways, so that's what motivated me. And after I started looking on YouTube, because I had not been on YouTube in several years, that's what kind of got me back on it. And so I started watching other boxings, I think. And that one thing led to another. And then I seen a couple of really cool channels that I had seen several years prior, but I just hadn't continued because life happens, you get busy doing other things. So, and then I came upon the tarot community and the witchy community, and the rest is history. It just kind of went from there. And I don't do anything half-assed. I just go all in. Sorry, I hope that recorded. My husband was trying to call. All right, let's see. So, 7, Who most inspires you on YouTube? Oh my gosh. Well, inspires me for my content, that would probably be Dawn Michelle. Just because I love the way that, I mean, she's a very aesthetic person also. She always sets the scene. She was in advertising for many years, so she understands, like, uh, you know, aesthetically what looks pleasing. And, well, at least to her aesthetic, and it's my aesthetic as well. And many of the, like decks and stuff that she has gotten for review or purchased herself, I had never heard of, and I seen it for the first time, or I see it through her eyes when she makes a video, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need that. You know, I love it because we have very similar aesthetics. Not always. A lot of the collage stuff she gets, I'm not so big on that, but, and some of it, I mean, I'm very particular about the artwork, but I would say she really inspires me. Lisa Pepez really inspires me. She's such just a beautiful person. I feel like she's a very balanced individual. And stop it. Sorry, Oliver. But there's a lot of people that inspire me. Courtney inspires me with the stuff that she does and the things that she's not afraid to do. She's like the gutsiest friggin' woman I know, especially when it comes to like ritual and witchcraft and stuff. I mean, yeah, she's got lots of experience when it comes to that stuff. And, you know, the back of my head, I'm always thinking, you know, do you really want to do that? Do you want to take that risk? And Courtney's like, let's do it. You know, that's Courtney. I just love it. So she's like the other part that inspires me to push myself a little bit further. And Summer inspires me from Astardia Sun. She is so creative. She just like oozes creativity. And, you know, she's got limited eyesight, and she makes all of those polymer clay figurines. And it's like half of it just comes from her just feeling it. And she's a writer. She was a writer and an editor. And, oh my gosh, she's just like multi-talented. And I just love how she sees and how she approaches life. She's just a very positive individual. I love that. Even in the face of adversity, she's just like, all right, we're doing this. You know, this is my goal. We're going to do it. And she just does it. And I just have mad respect for that. So she inspires me. Watching tons of, like what I talked about, like anthropologist stuff and esoterica and old biblical, you know, stuff and extraterrestrial stuff. All that stuff inspires me. When I see somebody working with a deck and how they work with it, it inspires me. So, yeah. All right. 8. One thing that you would change about the YouTube tarot community. I think just the ganging up on people. That's what it is. Because of the polarity that happens when we have discussions about stuff, how people will take sides and gang up on somebody. And there's a few things that I can remember where it's just like cutthroat sometimes, and you think that it'll be beyond that, but in the spiritual community, I think it's even worse sometimes, you know, because there's always this pointing fingers and these crusades against what's right, what's ethical, and it leads to cancel culture, which is just disheartening. That's the thing that I would change about it. Like less duality, more unity is what I seek. Number 9, advice for other creators or new people starting a channel. One advice. That would definitely be, I mean, go for it, definitely. But if, you know, speak speak from your truth. You know, be kind, always be kind, but speak from your heart and speak from your truth, and don't worry about what trends are going on and all that. Because 9 times out of 10, the channels are going to take a long time to grow, if that's what you're seeking, is for it to grow. And you have to really have a thick skin, because I mean, it is rough. And especially if you compare yourself to other people that have been doing it for a long time. You know, it's just never good to compare yourself. And the algorithm truly, and I can speak from experience, and there's stuff behind the scenes that people don't know about that I've had issues with YouTube that I'm not going to bring up, because if I do, probably get canceled. So it doesn't matter. But the algorithm is never your friend. It's not your friend when you're starting. So it's got to be about more than just trying to get a big channel. You've got to have a thick skin. You got to be prepared for people to come at you sometimes with the negativity, because they do. Especially if they're anonymous, or anonymity just turns a lot of people into crap. But let me tell you, there's so much that you can gain from also being a part of the community and joining in with a lot of other like-minded, beautiful people. So it's an exchange, right? That would be my... and find the actual channels when you're small, other small channels that are actually supporting you. Because there's many channels that are just the same size as you that do not go and support other people, or maybe they don't support you. So I wouldn't waste your energy. This is just my opinion. This is just my advice. Don't waste your energy on them. Especially because in a rough YouTube algorithm, why make videos if you feel like you're not going to be supported? You know what I mean? It only takes a second just to leave a little heart or anything, just to let somebody know that you were there, even if you know, crap happens. And I know that, and I don't mean support in every single video, but every once in a while, if you don't ever see that person coming, you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? If you are completely supporting everything that they do and you're not feeling it back? For me, the answer is no, it's not. For you, that answer might be different. But also, don't expect all of the bigger channels also to be able to support you like that, because they can't. That's just not practical. So if you're not getting something from their channel, then move on. Time is precious. And that was a lot of advice, sorry. What do you like about YouTube as a whole? That's number 10. I love that I can type in something usually and find it, like how to do this, how to do that, and it comes up. I can't tell you how many home improvements we have done because my husband's like, well, how do you do this? How do I change this on, you know, our pool pump? Or how do I change the sub pump in my basement or whatever? And so many things, you can just type it in and it tells you. You can even look up like model numbers of people, because there's just so much on YouTube. It's fantastic. There's so much information at your fingertips. Now, I also say take everything that you see with a grain of salt, because that doesn't always mean just because it's on YouTube that it's factual, but it might be factual from somebody's perspective. But, you know, I love that there is so many people. You can touch base with so many people and, you know, watch, like, anyways, I just love it for that. I'm sorry, I keep on hitting this stand. What is a deck or divination tool that you use alone but don't show or use online? Well, pretty much everything that I do talk about. I have talked about. I mean, I'm not actually showing it, probably, like actually doing it. One of those things, the biggest thing that is a part of my life and that leads me is my dreams, and or like experiences that I have. They are like my guides, whether it's my higher self or whether or not it's a past loved one, whatever, it doesn't matter. But that is like those communications guide me. And so many times, I mean, even having a dream about a certain like Mithras, okay? Then the next day across my screen, it's a video on Mithras and the daughter of Mithras over on Esoterica. I mean, I am shown stuff all the time. I've had many dreams about YouTube people that I don't even bring up because it's kind of weird, right? But I have dreams. I don't know if these things come true in their lives, but it's funny. So I would say my dreams, and I don't show my dream book, but I have dreams all the time and I write my dreams down all the time. That and cloud watching. I'm always gazing into the sky, or I will talk to the trees and I'll talk to the birds, and I also communicate with my animals. It's like I know exactly what they want or what they're saying. And Sully, oh my goodness, he like talks to me. He like shakes his head yes and no, or I'll tell him, okay, show me what you want, and he'll lead me to what he wants. I mean, we communicate definitely. But he can look me in the eyes and I know what he wants. It's like I can hear him. So anyways, let's see, moving on. 12. What is a deck that you want but won't buy because you don't support the creator or publisher? Nobody that I know of. Yeah. Nothing, nobody. I mean, I don't, yeah. All right. And 13. What has been your most memorable experience being a part of tarottube? Just when I have people email me privately or even leave me a comment telling me how my video or what I said in a video affected them so much that they started their channel, or it helped them in their life, or it confirmed something for them, or the connections that I've made with such beautiful people that I never would have if it wasn't for YouTube and this platform. So many beautiful people. Being able to experience, because I don't travel. It's hard for us to travel because of the dogs, unless we had an RV, because they're just crazy, especially that one right there. He's like my shadow. When I go to leave or even put on shoes, he attacks me because he thinks he's leaving. He has chewed up because he thinks I'm leaving. He has chewed up so many of my shoes. He attacks my feet. He gets under my feet when I'm walking down the stairs towards the front door, even if I'm going down to do laundry. If I'm going down the stairs to even do laundry, he attacks me because he thinks I'm leaving. When I come in after I've been gone, even if it's just to check the mailbox, he attacks me. He bites at my feet. He gets so pissed at me. So it's impossible for us to travel. So when I see videos like when Candy went to the cabin. I can't remember the name of the lady. But Mags and also Candy going on their walks in nature and over in England and Scotland, places that I would love to go, but it's just not feasible for me to do that right now. So experiencing those places through them, it is profound and beautiful. And then hearing how it affected them, right? But in general, the most memorable thing is always the connections with the people that I never would have met if it wasn't for YouTube, this platform. So all of the nastiness that does come with the community as well, it is few and far between, the nastiness. There's a whole lot more goodness than there is bad. So I always, for anybody coming in, I want you to have a thick skin, but also be ready to just meet the best people and it'd be life-changing for you. So those are my answers. This was a really good bunch of questions. And thank you, Will and Anna, for starting this. I will be putting a link to that video, and I am sending you love always. Thank you so much.